Hi guys! I'm sorry I'm a few minutes late tonight. I was having trouble getting my camera to flip so that you guys would be able to see the screen that I'm going to be using tonight, not so in the right order instead of like a mirror image of what I'm doing. So I was fighting with my Facebook Pages app to try to get that to work. But anyway, I'm here. Better late than never, and I'm super excited to be with you guys again tonight for our video 4 of our August series, which is all about helping you get through those bang your head against the wall moments, or to inspire you to start using your Cricut machine or your cutting machine to create beautiful custom decor for your home, your business, or for DIY workshops. And that's what I specialize in helping creative women do. So, hi Kate, hi Beth, hi Rhonda. Thanks for waiting for me, you guys. Something funky's going on because both my phone and Jason's phone, I couldn't get, like, all the wording would have been backwards. So let me know that you're here. Welcome. Tell me where you're watching from if you're new, or if you're not, just be sure that you feel comfortable the whole way through to pop in your questions in the feed. And if I don't see them while I'm working and teaching, I will go back and answer your questions afterwards. So, hey Mara, hi Stacy. Okay, so I decided that tonight would be a great night to talk and show you guys Design Space on an iPad instead of the computer screen. The last the last 2 videos before, when I was showing you how to design things on the back end, I was using my computer screen. Hi Barbara from Pennsylvania, thanks for hopping on. Hi Arlene. And please share this video with your friends so that I can continue to create these free videos to help you do the things you love to do with more ease and less frustration. And that's what this series is all about, because I know you guys can do it, and I want to save you the 4 years of bang my head against the wall moments that I had with my Cricut and get you right to creating. And so we're going to go ahead and jump right in tonight. Let's see, I want to focus on the iPad screen tonight, because the computer screen on Design Space, I typically use that to teach because it has a few more capabilities than what like an iPad or an iPhone has. However, that being said, I will say that I tend to gravitate towards using my phone or my iPad 99% of the time, I'd say, because it's so quick and easy. And so that's, I think people have trouble because you see a lot of tutorials with the computer screen, and then you go to your iPad to do something, and especially when you're first starting out, it looks different, or your phone, and you get all confused and overwhelmed. And so I'm going to try to help you in that way tonight, because I get a lot of questions about that. And I think sometimes it's not that you don't know how to do it, it's you might not know where the setting is or what to do, or where things are at, and it's easier than it might seem at first. So if you can bear with me, I promise I'll get you through, and you'll be creating things before you know it with ease. And that's what the ladies in the DIY decor makers do all the time. They're creating things with their Cricut machines and learning new paint finishes and all kinds of fun stuff. So before I get started, I have to tell you a quick funny story. I was staring at this sign thinking to myself, my job before I became, a membership group owner and do the online thing was I made signs for people all the time. And I look over here and I see this sign that's like scribbled in chalk, at best scribbled in chalk. And I was thinking to myself, you know what, like the kids were, I have a hammock in here, I was trying to get set up for my thing. I was thinking I should make a prettier sign than that. And it doesn't really show well compared to the fact that this is what I do. I teach people how to do custom decor. We have a hammock in our shop, and my kids were swinging, and it was noisy, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to leave it. It's fine. The most important thing is that I get you learning and moving and grooving as fast as possible. So I do want to share that I'm going to be sharing a little surprise, little gadget and gizmo that I will be doing more work with hand lettering for my people that are in the DIY Decor Makers group and that plan to join the DIY Decor Makers group. Do you guys know what this is? This shiny little beauty. So anyway, I will tell you about that at the end. I will tell you the amazing thing that that can do and what that has to do with the Cricut when we're done with this tutorial, all right? And the very first project we did in this series was this sign. And if you want to learn how to frame out your wood, you can go to my website, pickedandpolishedblog.com, and subscribe to the newsletter, and you will get a free e-plan for how to do this emailed to you in your inbox. So this was our first project. And then I thought it would be fun to mix it up a bit and do something with fabric. And fabric isn't like something I do all the time, but it is certainly fun to do. So we made this stencil last week on the live, or on Friday on the live, and I cut it and got it all ready. And I used Dixie Belle Moonshine Metallic in Steel Magnolia and the Caviar Black, whoops, to create this side of the pillow. And anytime you're using fabric and the Dixie Belle Chalk Mineral paints, you can heat set them with a dry iron. You know, you definitely want to let it sit overnight, let it dry really, really well. Use a thin cloth to cover, and then no steam or anything like that, and just kind of go over it for a few minutes. You can also use a hair dryer if you want. You could throw whatever you're painting fabric on into the dryer and let it dry for like 20 minutes, but that could be a big energy waster too, because you wouldn't want necessarily, you know, wet clothes in with something that you're trying to heat set. So that's a little tip. But tonight we're going to be decorating the other side of this pillow. So you're going to get two parts tonight. It's going to be a big live event. We're going to be doing the designing for this side. I'm going to keep it simple. I am going to revisit some of the things I taught on Friday because the internet was a little bit wonky. My sound was a little bit wonky, so I want to make sure that you've got the a few of the features of Cricut Design Space set to go. I wanted to make sure you're solid with those before we move on to anything else more complicated. And then, so we'll revisit that tonight, and we'll do a quick stencil over this as well. So I'm excited to do this project with you guys. Let me know where you guys are watching from. Hey, Anne-Marie. Hi, Amy. Hi, Pam. It's hotter than the hinges of you-know-what in my shop tonight, so if I'm a little bit sticky, that's why. All right, so I have the Cricut Explore Air. I have the Cricut Explore Air, the older one. It's much older, but the Explore Air 2 is a great machine. It does the same thing. It cuts twice as fast. And the Maker is the one that has the rotary blades, and it cuts more intricate paper and fabric. So if you're someone who's going to be cutting fabric a lot, or things like felt, or you want to do intricate paper cuts, the Maker is the way to go. The Cricut Explore Air 2, both of them are Bluetooth. They do, the Maker does everything and more that the Cricut Explore Air 2 does. So I've been using mine, I don't know, I can't even tell you, hundreds and hundreds of signs and stencils are stencils I've used with this machine, and it's, knock wood, still going strong. So yes, Kate, the Air 2 is amazing, isn't it? All right, so we've got somebody here watching from, it looks like, I thought I just saw California. Hi, Sally from California. Thanks for being here. Beth says it's a little bit cooler in Alabama. Only 97 today. Ooh, that is cool, right? Yeah. All right, so let's get going. No more chit-chatting for me. We're gonna get straight to work here. All right, I'm gonna pull my iPad over, and I'm just gonna pull, I think I'm gonna have my phone sort of tilted down so you guys can see. So I'm gonna have to move things around. You're gonna have to bear with me a little bit so that I can get going here with the iPad. So it's a little bit different than watching me do it on the screen, and I'm hoping that it works out okay. I'm going to go back to my canvas here. And if I can't see your comments while I'm doing this, I will definitely be checking. I'll be checking, and I'll be going back after this live is over to answer any questions or respond to any comments. So hi, Danielle. Stacy, 85 there. That's a nice temperature, 85. All right. So I'm going to make sure you guys can see this okay. You're going to have to bear with me here. I'm going to move. You might want to look away for a second. Whoop-a-doo. I'm going to move my stand so that you guys don't look at my messy shop. can see what I'm doing, all right, on my screen here. So let's see, make sure that you guys can see that okay. How's that? Does that work? Are there any there's a weird glare from my whoops, my ring light. Just got water everywhere. All right, how's that? Good? All right. There we go, guys. Okay, so I've never designed in this angle before, so it might take me a little bit longer than usual. All right, so I am in my Cricut design space on the iPad, and the layout is different, and I think that's why some people get a little bit overwhelmed or confused when they're, just make sure you can catch what I'm doing. Hold tight. I'm gonna pull this down just a little bit here. Whoops. All right. Yes, Sally says a clean shop is like a skinny cook. You're absolutely right. All right, so can you guys see that okay? All right, so I'm gonna go ahead into my canvas. I'm feeling like I need to move one more time. Hang tight, hang tight. Boop, boop, boop. Don't give up. I'm just getting settled here so that we can get going. All right, I think that's a little bit better. So if you guys could let me know if that looks okay to you so far, that would be helpful. All right, so on the computer screen, you've got a lot of different like editing tools all on the right side, all along the top, and along the side. On the iPad, it's different. It's going to be more, just want to see if that helps or hurts. It's going to be more on the bottom, okay? Let's see if you guys can see. So, down here you've got image, text, upload, actions, edit, sync, all the other things, okay? We're going to focus on a few of these tonight. We're going to start with text. I'm going to click on that. The thing I like about the iPad version is that you can definitely, it doesn't seem as overwhelming to me when I look through here and I'm looking for certain, you know, fonts. To me, it's like easier on the eye to sort of scroll through the fonts than it is on the computer. When you do it on the computer, you've got a million different things that come up, okay? It's hard to see the details. Okay, so that's okay right now, but as long as you can see like the grid right now. Can you see here, Kate? Can you see that part? Just make sure that works. I can bring you down a little bit. That may help. All right. So I'm going to search for fonts, and I want to say, I think on the back of my pillow, I wanted to have like, I wanted to have something different because my pumpkins one is cute, but it's not, it's definitely seasonal. So, so I'm going to try doing something that isn't so seasonal. So let's do something like Let's Snuggle. And I think I want to have like a wreath going around it. So we're just going to play around a little bit with the fonts. So let's try something basic like the typewriter font. I'm just typing that in here in the search. You guys see that? And then I'm going to go ahead and just scroll through, and I'm going to pick a font. All right. So I picked typewriter basic. Okay, Sally says she can see well enough to understand what I'm doing. All right, that's good. So let's do, I'm going to keep it simple tonight. Capital E. Oops, too many G's there. Let's snuggle. Okay. All right. So here we go. It's a longer, more rectangular pillow. Yeah, you guys can see that okay, I think, right? And I like not having to use a mouse. I like being able to just kind of click where I want. We want to keep that unlocked so I can mess around with the lettering. I don't love that this apostrophe is so big and it's so like squished in there, and I would probably separate these a little bit. And to do that, I can just tap back on the text box, put my cursor where I want it to go, and then separate them a little bit more. And I can separate these. Does anybody remember what I need to do to separate those? What feature I need to go to? I'll try to straighten this out a little bit. There we go. I'm going to go to my actions, which is down here, and that is different than the computer. So down at the bottom of the screen, you're going to see a little square that says actions, and then you'll see some options that say ungroup, attach, weld, all that good stuff. Well, if I want to move my letters around, I'm going to want to ungroup. Okay. So now what that does is it shows the letters separately, okay? I'm going to actually do something though, because I want to give myself room to work. So I'm highlighting all of these, and I'm actually going to do something that seems like counterintuitive. I'm going to go ahead and hit the group button, which is down here on the bottom corner, and I'm going to attach. And that's going to keep everything together, and then I'm going to move it over so I have some room to work with this. Now these are all still separated, right? So I can just basically take this little apostrophe and make it a little smaller if I want to. Pull this in a little bit, and then I'm good to go, right? And you can still size things just like you would like with your mouse, but you're just kind of using your fingers to make them bigger and smaller. So I'm just going to take that. You can also zone in if you're working on something and you're like, ooh, my fingers are too chubby, I don't know how to do that. You guys are on fire. Ungroup, you're right. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that up a little bit. Okay, so that's especially helpful. That is zooming in motion, or whatever you want to call it, feature. Just like you can do on the computer, you zoom it in and you can really fine tune things a little bit easier. All right, so that's pretty good. It's not as big as it was. I'm going to pull that in just a hair, and if it's being tricky, I'll zoom it in a little bit more. I think that's good. So I'm going to go ahead and group these guys again. Group down in the corner, and then I need to attach again down at the bottom. Remember, this is all under the actions section, doing these, right? So I'm gonna make sure you can see. Hey, Katie. All right, so now I'm gonna bring these back together where I want them, and I've got about 10 inches across. Whenever I'm working with pillows, I wanted to take into consideration that the edges sort of curve, and I don't want like lettering going around the edges. So maybe like, let's do 9 inches long to be safe, but I want to make sure these are together. So I'm going to drag and highlight. Down here, I'm going to go to group and attach. Again, you see there's a lot of group and attach going on. Then I'm going to pull this to where I want it to be. So right now you can see the measurements up here it's 12.5 inches wide by almost 4.5 inches high. So I've got, let's see, I've measured my pillow. I know that I have about, 8 by 10 or 8 by 9, but I probably will do like a little bit smaller. And you know what, maybe I'm saying, that's a little bit plain. I want to add a wreath to this. So I'm not going to fuss too much with the size right now because it might change. And I'm going to show you how to slice on the iPad, because the last video I did was on the computer and it was a little bit wonky. So we're going to go back to that feature, because that's a feature I get a lot of questions about. Hi, Clara. So glad you're here, my friend. All right, so we're going to go back, and let's say I want to add a wreath around this. Okay, so obviously this is going to have to be smaller if I do that. Let's go to images. It's in the bottom right corner, or bottom left corner, sorry. This is our search, and this is another thing I want to keep you guys informed about, because it can be overwhelming. We've had this conversation in the DIY Decor Makers group today. It's overwhelming sometimes to look through the search because there's so many things that come up. But in the search is also very like case specific. So if I type in wreath, or if I type in wreaths, I may come up with different search options might pop up. And I'm just going to go through and I can look through here. So that's one way to search. Another way to search is through categories. So the categories break things down a little bit more specifically for you. So if you're looking for a holiday and Christmas, you could look specifically in Christmas. And then you would just get maybe Christmas wreaths. So let's see what happens when I do that. Okay, so it's going to be a little bit more specific. It narrows that search down a little bit more. And let's just look over here at the filters. So I can save things in different places, and that is what that filter is for. It's looking for things in certain places. All right. So I want to get out of Christmas. I'm going to click the X here. And now I'm going to just look through the wreaths and see what I can find. I want something really simple and kind of thin. I uploaded this design. You can see it says uploaded there. I get a lot of questions too about, well, how do I know if it's a cut file or just a draw file or a print file? And you can tell on the computer, it shows it right off the bat, but here, let's see. I'm trying to see here if I can find a good example. These are like projects. Let's see what this one says. On the computer, it will say whether they're print then cut, or if they're, let's see, if they're print then cut, if they're just, you know, print images, if you can draw with them. Some of the fonts you can draw with, some you can't. There's just a lot of choices, but we're going to stick with the basics in this series. So I'm going to pick a few different wreaths to drop into my choices. I'm going to pick this one. I'm going to pick this one. And let's try that. Okay. Maybe one more, just for good measure. You guys see anything that you really like? If you were looking for a specific, like, you know, theme, you could try like fall wreaths, or, you know, your search can be as specific as you want it to be. I think that's good enough for now. So you can see down here all, probably can't see that well, but these are all images that I've picked. Those are going to go into my mat, my canvas. Okay. So now I can kind of see like what might look cute around my Let's Snuggle. Maybe that. Let's move that away. Let's try this guy. I'm gonna keep it unlocked and open it up. If I don't want to distort the shape though, I could keep it locked and then open it that way. So see what happens. If it's locked, it's gonna stay in a nice circle. If I unlock it though, and I try to move it, it could get a little distorted and not so circly. So you guys are gonna have to help me decide on a wreath that I can use for my little pillow. And I'm thinking the Moonshine Metallic and then the black for the lettering would be cute. Let's move that away and let's try this. So this one, you can see it's going to be really, really thin in those areas. I'm going to be weeding out really thin pieces of vinyl when I do this. So let me open this up, move these away a little bit. And you see the line, the horizontal line that's popping up there, that yellow one? Can you guys see that? That tells me that the wreath is centered, okay? All right, and if I move it this way and the line comes up like a target, I know it's centered up and down and left to right, so horizontally and vertically. So which one do you guys like better? Do you like that one? Or do you like, I think this one's out. Or do you like this one? So the green one or the black one? What do you guys think? Green, black. And what I'm going to do so we can see it all together is I'm going to highlight it, group, and attach. Okay. This one, I was thinking I would maybe slice, so let me show you what would happen with that. Let me detach this, ungroup it, and let me just pull this away for a second. So what would happen if I wanted my Let's Snuggle to go across the wreath, and I wanted like a break in the wreath? I would have to slice my wreath just like I did with the pumpkin. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to do that tonight. And then we're gonna go ahead and get this cut. And I'll show you how I kind of get things ready to go. All right, let's see. So I'm gonna go down here and I'm gonna go to, let's see, image again, because for some reason my shapes option isn't coming up. And I'm gonna type in square. Choosing that one, I've already purchased it. Doesn't matter that it has rounded edges. Right now I just want to see if I can slice this wreath a little bit. So I'm moving this over. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can do this. I think I actually want to cut out part of this wreath. What do you guys think? It's hard for me to see your comments. I'll bring that up a little bit and over. So I think I'm going to slice it a little bit and have the Let's Snuggle kind of go across and kind of come out from the side. Maybe make this a little bigger. So now that I've changed the shape, I need to recenter. I'm going to highlight the whole thing. And I'm going to go ahead and slice. But why won't that want my slice? The slice is what everybody has trouble with, and you're not alone if that is the case. There we go. I had to highlight the whole thing together with my finger. It had to get both the wreath and the rectangle. And now do you guys see the little slice button? I'm going to go ahead and slice that and pull those right out, and look what happens. Right? And so now I can do the Let's Snuggle right across there if I want to. I'll have it come out a little bit. Whoops. What keeps happening? Hold on. There we go. What do you guys think? Okay, now it's centered. You guys like that okay? All right. So, and I could have made that, like if I wanted to make this more oblong, I could do that too. Which do you like better, the oblong or the circle? I'm not really sure. I need some help, you guys. Oblong or circle? And I can take my paintbrush and kind of round those edges off a little bit if I want to once I'm done stenciling. Like, see right there, there's like a hard edge. I can always touch that up with my fine point paintbrush. Okay, I'm seeing circle, oblong. All right, keep them coming, guys. Circle or oblong? Pull it back in as a circle or keep it like that? Hi, Deb. Oblong. I need a tiebreaker. Who's it going to be? Let's see. Deb was helping me last time. Sally says the green one. I know. I kind of like the green one too. Circle. Oh gosh. Okay. I think circle it is, guys. Now we've got to decide. I'm going to do this to you again. We've got to decide which is a little close to that. So I'm going to pull this up a little bit. Whoop. Okay. Or that's more of a circle, I guess. Or this. Now I feel like that's too much. Too much going on. Doesn't that feel a little heavy? I don't know. I could have sliced this off and stretched that out a little bit, but I think we're gonna have to stick with the simple tonight. All right, especially with the time frame that we have here. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and place it where I want it, highlight the whole thing. Now I'm in the actions. If I go to edit, here's what comes up. Okay, I can flip things. You know, I can align things, all that stuff, but mostly I'm working in the action section here at the bottom bar. So I'm gonna go ahead and group and attach, all right? And then I'm gonna make sure it's gonna fit on my pillow. So that's way too big, so I gotta bring it in a little bit. Let's see, I don't want it to be huge, and I definitely don't want it going over the curved edge of my pillow, so I'm just gonna pull it in a little bit. And this is unlocked, so I might want to lock that just to kind of keep it from getting too funky. I don't know, let me see. If I want to detach it again and ungroup it again, I can. I feel like this is, I think because of where the leaves fall, but again, I can add a little something there. Group and attach, okay. So maybe like 9 by 7 or 10 by 7. I think 9 by 7 looks pretty good. So now I'm ready to go. It'll all be on the mat together to cut. I'm gonna get rid of this guy here, and I'm gonna go ahead over to save. That's really important. Save this as snuggle. When you save to the cloud, the nice thing is it's well, when you do save to the cloud, it's nice because you can be on any device and access it. You can save it to the, your Cricut design space. You can be at any, anytime you log in, you can get access to those. So I'm going to go ahead to make, oops, canvas, hold on just a second. Save to iPad. I don't know why it's not letting me save, but we're going to ignore that tonight. I'm going to go to make. What is happening? That's so weird. Hold on. Yeah, I don't know why it's not letting me save. It might. Let's see. Oh, good. Okay, it must have been an internet thing. All right, save to the cloud. So, wait, why did it just say it's saved and now it's saying it's not? I don't know. It's so strange. I've really never had this happen before. But I can tell you that Cricut has a really great, I'm just going to go to the home and make sure it's in there. And if it's not, so normally it would save and then I would go to my mat here. This is from earlier. I don't know why it's pulling that up. That's really odd. So if you want to go and look at all your projects, I'm just going to skip over this because I don't want you guys waiting around. My project's in the cloud. Okay. So if I wanted to go ahead and cut, this is what you would do. I'm just going to go to this one because I don't want to waste your time. So I'm going to go to make it. I may be having some internet issues out here, and that might be why. So I would just go to make it. I would, you know, center it where I want it on my mat, and then I would click on make, click on continue. I would click stencil vinyl, and then my machine is blinking and I would be good to go. And it would start cutting. It's really that simple. But I don't see. That is so odd. I think what I'll do is I'll go ahead and cut that other one tomorrow, and I can just kind of go over with you. I'll show you what I use for stencil, okay? So hold on, hold tight. I'm gonna turn my light back on and get you guys back up here. All right, so, boop, boop, sorry. So sorry, I know that's very dizzying when that happens. Okay, hot. So I'm not sure what's going on. It may be that, it may not be saving properly because I'm out in my shop. But that, you had to shut it all down, Stacy. So I won't be able to cut that exact one. But usually I have like a stencil kicking around that at least I can show you. Here we go. Here's one. So I use a 631 stencil vinyl, okay, and I use a paper transfer tape, and I actually can use this to paint right onto that pillow. If you guys want to see that tonight, I can still do that. I think the stencil would fit. Let me get you down a little bit so I have a little more space to work. There we go. There we go. All right. So I'm sure this will work on the pillow. So I'm going to go ahead and just try that. I usually weed my vinyl with my little tool here. I'm going to go ahead and pull my camera down so you can see it again. All right, so there's my vinyl. This one says Welcome Fall. It's too bad I can't do the snuggle one, but sometimes, especially when I'm live, I have to improvise and be ready to still teach you guys even when things go a little bit sideways with technology. So we're going to just keep cruising. Because it's not going to matter which stencil I use. I just want to get you guys going on the projects that you want to do. So the one thing to keep in mind when you're doing fabric projects is it can be a little bit harder to touch things up, obviously, because you're working on fabric. But you shouldn't be intimidated by it, because if you get your stencil down good, you should have a decent seal. I wouldn't use super plush, like high pill, whatever they call it, fabric. So this is the pumpkin. This is the side I did earlier today with the other stencil that I have, but I'll show you how it works, just so that you guys have an idea of how easy it is. This is like I don't know, it's not chenille, but it's pretty, it's got a little bit of a sheen to it. It's not super high pill, or whatever that technical term is for that. So that I know that the paint will work onto the fabric nicely, okay? So I wouldn't use something with like a ton of deep texture for this. I'm gonna go ahead and cut my stencil to size. Let me see that, hold on just a second. I'll cut my stencil to size with my little kid scissors, because that's all I have in my shop right now somehow. You like that? Little kid scissors. Anybody else have that problem? When they go to cut, all they can find are their kid scissors, because their big people scissors have been taken over by the little people. Usually is the problem, at least around my house. And I'm just gonna use the grit on the back to cut these as straight as I can. All right. Then we'll pull this down a little bit more. I'm going to go ahead and get my transfer tape on here. All right, just take this tape and I put it down. This will actually be really cute, I think. I line up my edge and I just set it down, and then I just sort of smooth it out. It's that simple. And then I'm gonna flip it. I don't have to flip it. Sometimes I don't, sometimes I do. And just trim. Why am I using these little scissors, you ask? If my kids were out here, they could tell you. Kate, do you have this problem with little kid scissors too at your house? Hold on. So I don't only use, yes, scissors are like socks in the house. That's totally it. I use my Cricut for more than just sign making. I mean, I've done my tile kitchen floors. I've used my Cricut to make stencils for that. You can customize, you can, take this idea and you can make heat transfer vinyl applications and all kinds of stuff. So the things that I teach in the DIY Decor Makers group are really things that, you'll learn the basics, and then we kind of build on that in that membership group. You also get Build It bonuses in there, and we teach you guys how to build things with things like a Craig jig, how to build palette boards, this month we're framing, we're teaching you guys how to make a frame, and the doors open on September 15th. Sally says, I miss the little ones. I'm scouting with my craft supplies. Oh, I know, I always say that to my husband. One day you're gonna miss this mess, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and get going with this and get the sticker on this side. And so something you can do if you're nervous about lining things up on your fabric is you can take painter's tape and measure out and make a nice even line where you want your stencil to fall. Just make sure that the painter's tape's not going to pull the fabric apart. Sometimes this can be pretty sticky. You can also use chalk, like a little white piece of chalk that will just wash right off or something, and that could help you line things up as well. I'm an eyeball it kind of girl, so I'm just going to go for it. I'm not going to worry too much about it. I've got it this way. I'm going to do it this way, I think. All right, so I'm going to try to get it centered. Hi, Maureen. I will use my measuring tape, although I should have had a fabric ruler out here with me. That would have been easier. So it's about 5 inches. That's pretty good. So I'm just going to mark this with a little bit of painter's tape now, actually. Whoops. Where I had this edge here. And then, and again here. This is not by any means like scientific strategy here. I too eyeball it, yes. Hi Jennifer, how are you, my friend? So then I'm gonna go ahead and just rub and peel the backing off. And I'm gonna push down. I wanted to let you guys know too while you're watching that the DIY Decor Makers group will open back up from the 15th only until the 24th. And the wait list is already getting really long, and I'm going to cap it off at some point. So if you think you might be interested, definitely head over to the link above after this live and go ahead and get yourself on the wait list. And then you'll be the first ones to get the official exclusive invite to hop into that group when it opens. All right, so that's sticky on that side. Just using really I want it to be like just, fairly straight and centered. I need to pull it down a little bit more. And then I'm going to go ahead and rub my stencil on best I can. Just kind of like, it reminds me of when you're at the hairdressers and they're like pulling the hair out to see if it's even. I kind of do the same thing. But it never hurts to measure. So I'm going to go ahead and pull my transfer tape off. And this is because I'm working on fabric. I want to just keep the pressure on the vinyl, and you'll see it starting to come up a little bit. Just gonna push that back down. Keep pushing it down. It's not the end of the world. Don't get in a panic. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. And we're gonna just keep cruising here. Look at that. Just gonna keep putting pressure on it and pull it off. All right. So now, like I said, when you're working on a sort of fabric application like this, you're gonna wanna make sure that you have those little edges really like kind of worked down, okay? And because there's some texture, there is a chance there might be a little bit of bleeding. So you guys know, if you've been watching me for any length of time, less is more at first with your first layer of paint. And keep that brush dry, super duper dry, okay? On fabric, it's a little bit, you know, it's gonna soak in a little bit and it won't slide around as much like it would on a surface like wood. Let me know if you guys have questions as we do this part. I'm a plain Jane kind of girl, so I'm gonna do Dixie Belle's Caviar, and I'm gonna do the pumpkin in the Midnights, or in the Steel Magnolia, I think. Yeah. All right. And actually, I forgot to tell you, I mixed a little bit of the Steel Magnolia into the Caviar to give it a little sheen, to kind of go along with the pillow sheen, so that it didn't look so drastically different. And it looked really nice on the other side, so I'm going to go ahead and do that on this side as well. It's nice and thick, and I definitely recommend a chalk mineral based paint with stencils because you're going to get a lot less bleed through that way. And the durability factor, you know, you don't have to, other than just giving this a little heat set if you think you're going to wash it, it's going to be on there. It's not going to come off. So you can see I'm just using a little bit of paint, you guys. Not a lot of paint here. I'm just kind of working it into the fabric, up and down. So what I'm not doing is pushing underneath the stencil. What I am doing is kind of working the paint into the fabric. It's Dixie Belle Chalk Mineral Paint. I actually have it on my website at pickedandpolishedblog.com. And you can get it locally here at the Altered Studio. And it just is great for furniture painting, home decor painting, stenciling. I use it on all of the decor projects we do in the DIY Decor Makers group. And you get a discount every single month in that group on this product as a monthly member. So here we go. I'm just kind of dabbing, pushing down, and kind of, you see how I'm kind of working? I want to make sure I'm not getting paint on my fabric anywhere else. I'm just kind of working it in, but I'm not using like loads of paint, and I'm careful about where I see the stencil lifting up a little bit. Excuse me. All right. So here we go. This takes just a few minutes to do, and then actually I'll be able to pull this off and show you what it looks like before this live is over. I usually would let it sit for a while, but I like to give you guys the full reveal before we end for the night. So this live is a little bit longer than the ones I usually do. Oh no, Stacy said she splattered a bunch of drop cloth, which is the color of this paint, on her couch. And it doesn't come off. Yeah, it doesn't. Like, it really, trust me, everything I own has paint on it because of that. Like, I see that wiggling a little bit, so I'm going to be careful not to do that too heavy. I'm going to just dab that paint on, and if I have some weird spots, I can always take my fine point brush and go back over and kind of clean up the lines a little bit. You know, it's not the end of the world. This was a really inexpensive pillow. I think I got it at Walmart for, I don't know, $10, not even, maybe $7. I don't remember. But I like it because it's neutral and it's simple, and I knew that stenciling on it would be pretty, like most anything would look cute on it. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of my fall, and then I'll do the pumpkin in the Steel Magnolia. You could also do the letters in striping if you wanted to. I mean, there's just so many possibilities. So many. It's a little risky painting fabric on a live, I'm not gonna lie. Things could go sideways. It could look horrible, but for the most part, I've done t-shirts and all kinds of different. I've done tea towels with this. Oh my gosh, so cute. Tea towels are adorable to do with stencils. And I wouldn't necessarily, you know, unless you were cranking out a bunch at once, you know, you can buy those little flower, are they called flower towels, I think, at Walmart for like $4.99 for like a huge pack of them. And then you'd have, you could just line them all up and get them all ironed and ready to go and stencil them in like an assembly line fashion. And you'd have tons of cute stencils for, cute tea towels for every season. If you're a business owner, that would be a great thing as well. You could do, if you do DIY workshops, you could make, customize your aprons with the stencils. That would be cute. So I'm just doing a little bit of the, it's probably hard to see on camera tonight, but it'll show up. I'm doing the Steel Magnolia Metallic with from Dixie Belle. It's one of the Moonshine Metallic products. I love this color. I put it on everything. I love to mix it. It's just so pretty. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm okay if there's some spots missing because I really like the rustic look. I'm okay with that. So I'm gonna go ahead, and normally I would wait and I would let this dry and then I would peel it up, but for tonight, are you guys ready? Can I get some hearts before I peel this bad boy up? I'm a little nervous. It is fabric, so it's harder to touch up than a sign. Throw me some hearts so I can peel this bad boy up. Give me some courage. Give me some heart courage. All right. Okay, here we go, guys. Are you ready? Ooh, let's see what happens. Oh, so cute. Oh, I love it. Okay, what do you guys think? Not too shabby, right? That didn't take me very long to do either. The F is a little funky, but I could take my, let me show you what kind of brush I use for touching up spots like that. So I would use a really fine point brush with like a stiff tip and just kind of, sometimes you can get into trouble when you try to touch up. You can overdo and then you're dealing with more of a mess than you started with. Like you can just straighten out the line and you're good to go. And then I would wait for these to, normally I would wait for those to dry, but I'm gonna go ahead and pull those up anyway. And this will show up, this little guy will show up a lot better tomorrow. So let me just pull very carefully. I want to make sure the wet paint doesn't fall back on my, but look, so with one stencil design, I made two super cute items, right? The other one is the sign and it's the same design. So let me pull up my camera and show you what it looks like a little bit better than what I have going on right now. All right. Hi guys. Hold on. I gotta fix this. Okay. So, wanna see? How cute, right? It's a little small. I mean, we improvised because the first stencil I had was not, I had internet issues, so I couldn't cut that. It was going to say snuggle or let's snuggle with a little, you know, semi sort of wreath, but simple. And this is the back side. So you could do like something that would work all year long, like let's snuggle or something like that. And then this could be your welcome fall. And in the DIY Decor Makers group, my ladies will tell you, I always try to get a lot of bang for your buck with the projects that I share in that group. And I try to pick things that are very budget friendly and things that you can use, you know, maybe three items and do a ton of different beautiful projects to sell, to do in DIY workshops, or to create for your home. And so I'm always looking for better ways to do that. Oh, my little lights look cute up there with the camera. So there's that. Here's the sign we did originally. And then I would like to know from you guys tonight, where are you guys getting stuck with your Cricut machine? Because the next time I go live, I'm going to be taking that into consideration. And thanks, Kate says, such an amazing group. It really is. I am so proud of being the guide of that group because the women in there are extraordinary. I'm telling you, in so many ways. They lift each other up, they encourage one another, they share project ideas, business ideas. It's just a great place to be. So if you're someone who just likes to make for your home, or you do have a business and you want to, you know, crank out some projects that you can make some good money on, that is the place to be in September when the doors open. But in the meantime, want to know, I love you guys too, Beth. You're awesome. I want to know from you guys what you need most from me. The next time I go live in this series, I want to dig a little deeper in the editing maybe, or maybe there's just one function of the Cricut that you're just like banging your head against the wall with. So please comment and let me know, because the best way I can help you learn is by listening to what your questions are. And to be truthful, my ladies know this, I say this all the time, the more we know, the more questions we have. And as a former teacher, I know this to be true. So the fact that you have questions means that you must know a lot. So ask your questions in the feed, and I'll see you guys again on Friday next week at 8 o'clock. And in the meantime, I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful week, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.